All right, this is SSL Family Dad with Simple Sustainable Living, and today we're replacing the draft motor on this outdoor wood burner. All right, so a couple days ago, of course, at the coldest point of the winter, probably the coldest it's been in years here in Michigan, it was like negative 15, 16 degrees, negative 18 degrees, a couple days with wind chills and that. Of course, the wood burner stops working. I noticed the temperatures were down. The air was coming out, was cold. I came out here, and the fire wasn't getting aired. The draft motor just stopped spinning. It's just barely moving. So I checked around locally, nobody had the part in stock, so I went and ordered it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description to this blower. Every boiler is probably different, but the one that I have here is a Dayton. I'll put the model number and the link in the description for you to check out if you're interested or need the part. So I'm just going to take you through the process of replacing this today. It looks very simple, and so we're going to go through step by step and get the new motor on so we can get some heat in this house. I have been able to keep this wood burner going without the draft motor throughout the last 48 hours. I've just been opening the ash pan and letting air go in the ash pan and up through the grates in the bottom, which has been creating a draft and getting some air to the fire and keeping it burning, as you can see behind me here. I've also left the door open for a little bit of time to just let the fire get going, heat up the water, and then close it. It's been a pain. I've had to come out here a lot to do this, and we've been using electric heaters as backup overnight and things like that. So let's dig in here and check the replacement process out. All right, so here's the culprit. This is the Dayton. It's a model number 1TDP7, and this is a direct replacement with the new one that I have here. Should be identical, I'm hoping. So, all right, so first thing we need to do is break all these bolts loose. Looks like 7/16. So most of them are pretty easy to get to, but of course the power has been turned off to the unit. Those are easy. There's one that's down at the bottom here that's going to be the hard one to get out. But nothing we can't handle. Alright, so there is actually a nut behind there, so gotta be careful you don't drop that out like I almost just did. Alright, that last one is quite a process to pull out. We got it. Blower only comes on when the temperature of water in the boiler drops below the set temperature, and so there's a limit there, similar to a fan limit on a regular furnace. So I set mine usually, depending on the time of year, like 175, 180, 185 maybe. Some of this stuff's a little corroded here. White. The wiring out here is less than pretty. It's not my mess. My mess to clean up, I guess. Alright. Okay, so old fan is out. Looks like a perfect match. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. I have a good way to get that ground wire on there now. All right, working in the cold like this, I keep stuff in my glove usually. All right, so if you find yourself in a situation like this, one of the things I do a lot of times, I'll grab a socket wrench here with a 1/4 inch socket, and then you can fit a bit into it. And that'll allow you to get into hard to reach places. Too long to fit that way and too short to fit the other way. So a couple other options. I have a small screwdriver here. Short screwdrivers. These are handy to have, stubby. And I also have this little tool, which I don't know where this came from, but man, this thing handy. And this is probably what we're gonna be using. Yep. All right, so let's get our wiring fed in here. Hardest things to fix in the winter is heating problems. Everybody's home and in the house and looking for heat. Gotta work quickly before people start getting cold inside, right? Okay, let's get the breaker turned back on and see if it works. There we go. So there's really two things that happen when it calls for heat. So as soon as it gets below whatever temperature that limit's set at, it gets 10 degrees below the set temperature. So if I set it at 180, when it gets down to 170 or below, this kicks on. There's a solenoid in here that lifts up this rubber damper basically and allows the air to flow in here and get pumped into the firebox. When this satisfies the heat and gets up to 180 degrees, the solenoid lets loose, and then this damper comes down to block this off, because otherwise that natural draft of the heat, going out of the chimney would suck air right through here and it would just keep on burning. So this actually blocks all air off to the firebox and allows the fire to just kind of smolder until it's ready to call for heat again, and then it kicks on. So pretty simple design, and as long as the blower's working good, everything works perfectly here. Now it's working. Oh, I feel the heat. I'll warm my hands back up, they're about frozen. All right, we're back to heating the house off the land instead of using electricity and propane. Man, what an awful expensive thing to burn. But this thing's been running great. So there's only two components to this thing. There's a water pump, a circulation pump, and there's that blower. There's the only two things that can really go bad. If I were smart, I would probably have had an extra one on hand, and that's what I will do from here on out. I will purchase a circulation pump and a blower and just have them on the shelf in the basement, ready to go as soon as anything goes wrong with this. That way I don't have to worry about waiting for parts or something like that. The circulation pumps, those things are warranted for like 5 to 10 years. Those things last a long time. But the blower, I do understand, those get dusty and they get dirty and they can wear out. They're a cheaper part. So you guys have questions or comments about the process here, about the wood burner in general, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, hit thumbs up on the video. That always makes a huge difference for me. And subscribe to the channel if you'd like to follow along. We've got lots of exciting stuff coming up as the winter turns to spring here, hopefully in the next 2 months. And so lots of projects underway. I can't wait for warm weather. This winter has been brutal for us. So looking forward to putting this one under our belt and moving forward. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.